What is up, YouTube? Hope everybody is having a wonderful day. We are back with another video. Today is gonna be a training day, a lovely one for us. It's gonna be a push day, so we better make sure we make it count like any other day. But push day, as some of y'all know, are special for us, and we do enjoy them quite a lot, especially on the compound movements, because I am coming from a old school rip and grip lifestyle and style of training, and I love to move some weight around on my training, but because of my goals and everything, I cannot do that without focusing on proper execution and proper sniper execution, I call it. So I do enjoy whatever I have on my plan, and some compounds like Smith machine, incline press, like flat machine press, and exercises that I can get into, brace hard and just press or just pull or just push, whatever, but just feel stable and move some good weight there. It feels good for me, and it's not even comparable. So it's not even a conversation. So I'm not gonna waste much time from you, but I'm gonna get you straight into it. Gonna explain some of my working sets, all of my working sets. Gonna show you all of my working sets, and I'm gonna explain some cues and tips that I like to introduce for my training to make it even better and get as much as possible out of it. So I hope y'all can get something from it and enjoy. I'd like to add as well that we just finished my priming phase. 4 weeks of priming phase. We dropped some body fat, some water, some inflammation, and primed my body for this upcoming phase that I'm getting into right now, which is my growing phase, a short growing phase. And things moved pretty quick. We are very happy and impressed with it because we weren't expecting things to move that quick and that smooth. So nothing to say but just head down, and we nailed this upcoming phase, inshallah, to make this one as well as perfect as we can within our abilities, because our best is all we have, right? So praise be to Allah, and we get into the next growing phase successfully, elevating things up and trying to grow as well. I'm gonna show you the check-in from my final form of the priming phase, which was 93.5 kgs fasted, and then I'm gonna get you into my workout. Right, so here's the pre-workout meal. We have 140 grams of rice, 150 grams of chicken, 15 grams of no sugar Caesar sauce. Here we have then 100 grams of pineapple. The other fruits are for post-workout. I'm gonna get this down, and in 75 to 80 minutes, we're gonna head to train. Starting off with the workout now. As some of y'all know, I do start every single workout with some primer work to get my headspace, and to get my mind and my body primed for the work that's going to begin. So here we have some hanging stretches alongside with some scapular retractions and protractions, so they can help with the posture throughout the pressing and throughout the whole workout. I do start and end every single workout with these. Then we're gonna move over into some rope crunches. Here I do just one working set, nothing to failure, just priming work, just to get some blood into the abs and help with bracing and stability, and make it easier to do so throughout the whole workout. Here I do 10 to 15 reps depending on how I feel. Nothing to failure, as I said, just trying to go through full ranges of motion and getting some blood into that core to help with proper posture, proper stability, and proper bracing. Here we want to stay seated. We want to make sure we stay seated throughout the whole set and do not get that butt off the ground of the legs. We want to stretch just enough our sternum without overstretching, because that's the function of abdominals. It's not to go further than what I'm going right here. As you can see, then I contract in. I have a nice hold there. I make sure I'm contracting, and I do exhale as well when I contract to help with contracting the abs better. Then we're gonna move over into some single arm lat pullovers. Here I do use a cuff because I can supinate easier my grip, and that's why I don't use a rope. 10 to 15 reps here as well, going through full ranges of motion. As I said, on the primer work, we want to make sure we drive as much blood as possible into the muscle that we aiming to hit. On this case, for lats, I do try and get some light lat work before every single push workout, because it truly helps with the posture, and it feels way better and way easier to then get into presses. It feels more comfortable. I never run into issues with posture by starting with this, and it feels way comfortable. I think I can get through deeper ranges of motion when I do have some blood into my back. So that's why we start with this exercise here as well. We want to have pause at the stretch, pause at the contraction, make sure we are filling those muscles full of blood. And now we get into some serious work. This is the new version of my overhead tricep extensions, and new favorite exercise for tricep. It feels great, really, because I was lacking stability on the single arm overhead cuffed tricep extension, so that's why I switched to easy with bench supported. In this incline, it feels much better on stability, and I can drive much more force into it, which means more strength. More strength means more gains, simple as that. So here we want to have a 2-second pause at the stretch, so we make sure we load that muscle in the lengthened position, as that's where it benefits the most, and especially that's the purpose of this exercise. So as a first time here trying this exercise, it felt great, really, and some small tweaks I could change on my stability here, that for the next time I'll do, probably, surely, with the bracing more, so I can keep that core slightly tighter and keep the back into my bench a little bit more. But that makes no difference on the execution though, really, because the execution I would call it perfect. And into the second set here, which we have a Meyer rep set. As I've explained before, we hit as many reps as we can till failure, and then we rest 10 to 15 seconds or 20 seconds and get the rest of the reps that's missing to match the first set. This went pretty cool as well. The pump and the feeling here was immense, and I could really focus on just contracting my tricep and not worrying about many things. Even though it was the first time doing this exercise, I know in the upcoming times it will be even less stressful about the body positioning, and with the time it will come the ability and skill to execute better and more comfortable. So this will be a stable exercise in my routine, which I really like, and I hope we have a long run in our plan with now this. Into the first pec movement, which is gonna be the seated cable flies, supported by a bench here, which I have a pad as well in my back to help with opening those scapulars fully, so I can stretch my pecs even more. This feels great, really, and y'all know that this is my favorite fly exercise. I don't do any other fly exercise for chest because this feels great, really, and I've been progressing it really rapidly, so I see no reason to change things up. I do start any push workout or upper body workout with some arm work first, because I do believe it doesn't take much from the workout, and it brings a lot of benefit as you can focus more towards the first half or first quarter of the session more than the rest. As you are more fresh, you have more energy, the mind is cleaner as well, and energy wise it doesn't take much from the rest of the work that's being done. I like as well, before any presses for the chest, to have a fly starting off, so I can have some blood. I like to have some blood into the area before I get into presses. This makes me reduce some load exposure, but makes me engage the pecs better and get more out of my presses, because that's the purpose for bodybuilding, right? We don't want to just be moving and throwing weights around, but we want to create some optimal work there. Personally think there's much benefit on doing some pre-exhausting work before any presses, especially if it's a lagging body part where we do struggle with connecting. I don't really have this issue anymore, but before I used to have it, and doing so helped me a lot with engaging my pecs better and engaging a muscle better and connecting better with it, learning to execute and keep the load under it, make that muscle move the load and not just moving it from point A to point B. I do believe it brings true value and lots of benefits into growing it as well. Quick cues I can give here is leading through elbows always, and think of touching elbows together or driving that bicep through pec, and not thinking at all about touching the hands, as then you will end up rounding your shoulders or changing your execution, because the primary focus here should be the leading with elbows and not creating any pressure throughout the wrists, to make sure we get the most out of it. Working sets here, as I've said, I do like to work within the 8 to 10 rep range here. Before I used to go even higher, but once I learned to control it very much and connect well with it, I just kept it to that rep range. I think rep range is very individual. It shouldn't be a way or another for it. It should be just whatever you feel comfortable with, and whatever you can go, you can reach true failure and true intensity, feeling comfortable and progress with. For me, going very high on reps, it doesn't really work. Here we are into some dips, 2 working sets here. We let the shoulders move freely, as I said, to make sure and to allow that pec to get into full ranges of motion. We have a 2-second pause at the stretch to reduce load exposure. And as some of y'all know, I've been injured here before, so I've been working my way up on this exercise again, while making sure I progress only if it's very easy progression, in terms of the weight becomes easy and I don't force it to progress. I've made sure I tidy up this exercise as much as I can with focusing on contracting. Even though it's a compound exercise, I don't treat it like with isometrical movements. I do put real effort, but I just make sure that there are the muscles moving it and not just my ego. We're over into the Smith incline press. This is low incline and it's my favorite chest exercise by far. Compound exercises, like I said on the beginning of the video, I truly love them and I have a special affection for them because I've been growing up doing so, and we didn't even have much variety to do anything else, but we just stick to the basics before. So here 2 working sets of 8 to 10 reps. I did go slightly heavier on that first set because it felt really comfortable and stable. Nothing went wrong. I could connect, I could control the weight, and it felt all good. Second set, we backed off the weight a little bit and got 2 more reps than the first one. Now, like you can see, I do not attempt any rep that I'm not sure I can fully contract and fully complete. And this is a true merit in bodybuilding training, because next time I'm sure I'm gonna come and be able to even do a fuller rep, another fuller rep, additional, or just make the ones that I completed better and feel them and make them feel easier. Then we are over into some machine flat press. This is truly as well one of my favorite exercises too for chest, because it allows me to focus so much on just bracing and just keeping a stable body position and just press. I do think a lot of driving those elbows together, like I said before. We do not want to think of just pushing the weight up or just driving the weight off our body and off us, but we want to be as efficient as we can with the weight and make it feel as hard and as accurate as possible. I'm happy with how this exercise went as well. It was pretty smooth. I do like to have a micro pause at the bottom and at the top of this exercise to prevent momentum, and I like to work on rep range of 8 to 12. Over to the last exercise of the session, which is gonna be the single arm cuffed cable lateral raises. I'm starting to like this exercise pretty much. Before, I used to not like it that much because it was truly hard for me to do it properly, and I was overcueing it a lot because of lack of connection. But now I've started to like it and started to nail it down. As you can see, the form is impeccable and I like it a lot now. I can connect pretty easily with it. We want to make sure we brace hard here. We want to have that fist turned in and think of pushing it down and out to the sides and not just up. So just thinking of driving the hand away from us, not pulling it up or pushing it up, because that will then engage lots of traps which we cannot avoid of being involved here, but we don't want to overdo it and we don't want to over engage them to a point where it becomes more so a trap exercise than a side delt exercise. Like using a cuff here because it makes it easier to lead through the elbow and think of and get that wrist out of the movement. Even though I like saying so, I like keeping something in, holding something into my hand, so I do not let the wrist fully loose. Notice that tends to happen when I do not hold on to something and the wrist start bending and staying loose, which we don't want that either, because these are two extremes. We want to stay somewhere in the middle so we can produce the best amount of force, feel comfortable and have the best stability while executing the movement. Working sets here of 10 to 15 reps. And here is one exercise which I wouldn't suggest to go heavy on weight, because it's really hard to isolate it and to keep the same control and same effort within the muscle if you try to go heavier and if you try to not control it as much as you can, not control it as much because then it will bring less benefit. So we do want to stay within rep ranges that fit best the exercise. Here on this case, for me, 10 to 15 is the place to be. We macro pose on the bottom and not the top to make sure we prevent momentum and make it as painful as we can. Here's some little treat for you guys, as I haven't treated you much lately, so I feel like I owe you something. I owe you a little bit of post-workout physique update, which I don't really do often, because I try to spend my time as efficient as possible and get the most out of it. And I don't like messing around with my phone or filming myself a lot. It's really something I have to always force myself to do, because I don't really like and I don't really want, but it's just that sometimes I have to, even for my clips, to check my execution and see what I can improve, even to document the physique updates and everything, and even to treat you guys, as I said, and bring something to you, so you can show some support back, and I show some of my journey and some of the tips that I can give, which I hope here's now they are helpful post-workout, and they help you as well with your own progress. And truly having my piece here with the hanging stretches. Here is a moment of me being grateful and of me being thankful for everything that went so well. I do reflect a lot when I stay on these hanging stretches, and it's not just beneficial for my body but for my mind as well. So time now for my post-workout meal, and we'll get this as soon as possible, because my blood sugar levels have dropped to single-digit numbers, surely, because I'm feeling it. So we better get back, as you can see. So we better get back in life as soon as possible. Here we have 140 grams of low-fat rice-based cereals. We have 40 grams of isolate whey, chocolate orange flavor. We have 150 grams of mixed berries. I'm gonna show you guys this and get this down rapidly. Guys, so here we are getting now my afternoon steps. 2 and a half hours before we sleep, so we can calm our body down then with my usual routine. 2 hours before sleep, I do not touch my phone. I try to read, I try to reflect on my day and see what I can do better for my everyday basis. What can I change? What have I done wrong, based on my character, based on my lifestyle that I live, including here sport, work, whatever, just trying to improve in general. So I do point things out and try and do my best to reflect and calm myself down before sleep. So this is like a wind down routine for me. I get my steps, I read, I pray, I eat my last meal, then I pray, then I sleep. So this is a routine I like pretty much, and it feels very comfortable for me, and it brings me a big amount of peace. And I would argue I wouldn't be able to perform like that if I wouldn't have a stable routine like this. Even on the morning when I wake up, I get my fasted walk without touching my phone. I do my morning rituals, measure my blood pressure, measure my blood glucose, drink my water, check my weight first of all, then get my fasted walk, then come home, eat my first meal, and then I start getting into my phone to check with clients. Then I cook for the day. I have the clients for personal training. So this is how my day goes, but usually whenever before I get into sleep and after I wake up, I don't like staying on my phone or touching my phone at all. I just like having my time, my peace, and it helps me perform on the best of my ability and be on the best mental state possible. So this is pretty much needed for me if I want to perform at a very high level, including here any area. So this was for today's video, guys. I hope everybody liked it, enjoyed it, took something from it. I hope it was helpful. And if you want to see videos like this coming, I'm going to try to upload them as much as I can. If you have any preference, please let me know in the comments. If you can like, comment, share, subscribe this video, I would really appreciate it. And I'll try my best to give something back to you guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find it on the bio or description. I have a TikTok as well. I have a training team as well, TeamPFCoaching. You all can find me there as well for any coaching requires. Till next one, I'm out, and I hope everybody crashes it with their gym journey.